And actually, probably Nick is one of them. Hey, hello everyone! Welcome back to the what is this? TRI's crypto top 100 countdown. Crypto countdown. Oh, okay, that's what it's called. I think I had a different name for it on YouTube, but TRI's top 100 crypto review. Anyway, it's kind of a fun little show that we've been doing. Geez. This is episode 19 now. Can't believe we've been doing this long. I don't know whether anybody's going to actually watch this or not, but I really enjoy the conversations I get to have with three TRI all students in our student body. And then we just get to do charts for a couple hours. I don't know what kind of trouble. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the market and if there's anything really of note, and of course our terrible predictions, at least my terrible predictions. I think we've done this 19 weeks, and I think I was right once, so that's good. It's not bad. So that's 5% accuracy. Ooh. Oh well. But it's a lot of fun just talking to the boys, just get people's opinions, what do you think's going to happen next? I always like that kind of talk. So with that said, I'd like to say hello to my panel of co-hosts. And I don't know, I'm getting the feeling that we're supposed to have our cameras on and people are supposed to see our faces when we're talking. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, let's get an audio check-in. I guess we'll just go from top down. So Derek, you're number one on my list here. How you doing this morning or this evening, sir?
I'm doing great. Not a complaint in the world.
That's good. I did see you quite active in the class, talking options today. So how are you enjoying learning about all the various different ways we can use derivatives to get into trouble with?
I'm really enjoying it. I like the idea that you can have control and have the option to make a decision, right? And that's a big deal to me. So I'm loving it. It's a lot to learn though.
Actually, we might even for fun, maybe even take a look at deribit options here. And also, too, now they've got the backed SPAC is up, the coin is up, even the Bitcoin ETFs listed in Toronto have options. We could actually do quite a bit of options analysis on crypto now, so that'd be kind of fun to do one day, maybe. So awesome to hear from Derek. Next up on the hit list, we have Nick. How you doing this evening, Nick?
I'm good. As long as you have at least a 20-to-1 risk reward, that 5% will pay off.
I don't think I hit it that big of a window, unfortunately. That would be like a Kavarkinator trade, right? Buying the 88.6 stab.
That $3,000 Bitcoin. That was about a 20-to-1.
What a trading god that guy was. Anyway, we can all dream of those. Those kind of trades lead to the gold-plated stakes kind of thing. That's pretty popular in crypto these days, isn't it?
I don't know why, but apparently.
Right.
I could
Actually,
spend $1 billion before I'd want a gold-plated steak.
Well, actually, Ben, it's your buddy, right? He's Mr. Gold-plated steak, right? He's the guy who referred you to our site, eh? Anyway,
is that Dav?
Yeah.
Dav's is that what he's eating these days?
You're part of Dav Army, aren't you? I seem to remember. I don't know. There was a tweet going around there a week or so ago about, I guess, guys doing really, really well in crypto and something about gold-plated steaks. Anyway, so speaking of which, bringing up the end, didn't introduce him appropriately, but we have Ben. Ben, how you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
How is the great state of you're in Florida, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
How are things? Suppose it's buy when it snows, sell when it goes, but it doesn't really ever get that cold in Florida, does it?
Yeah, we'd be lucky if the leaves turn brown here.
Oh well, I used to trade frozen concentrated orange juice, and if you ever got a frost up in northern Florida, there where all the citrus crops are, oh man, all hell would break loose. So I do remember that from years gone by. How about Maryland? Is there a bit of a frost in the air yet in Maryland?
Yeah, we got the first official frost last night because I
There you
had to bring
go.
some plants inside, so I was moving
Yeah.
plants around last night.
Yeah, I think, did I ever tell you that my memory of Maryland was I was in a hurricane. Or no, a tornado. A tornado touchdown. Where was I? Right
You
on
mentioned
the
it. You
Annapolis,
mentioned you were in
Maryland.
Annapolis, right? Yep, not too far from
Yeah.
where I am.
Yeah. Is that pretty close to where you were?
Yep, about 10, 15 miles. Yep.
Ah. So, and I guess the big question for Nick is, are they starting to build igloos yet in the great state of Minnesota?
I'm not there yet. I
Oh.
will be there in 2.5 weeks. 2 weeks from Friday, we'll be there.
Okay. Well,
But
so,
it is in the 30s when I wake up in the morning now.
you check in on sort of Minnesota
No,
temperature?
in New Mexico.
Oh,
it's in
even
the
in New
30s.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're really high up. We're actually like a higher elevation than Denver is.
Wow.
So it does get pretty cold overnight. But I mean, not that mid 30s is cold compared to Minnesota, but
Well, you're getting ready. You're prepping
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Minnesota could get a tad bit chilly there in the wintertime.
yeah, February is usually not too much fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, great to hear from all of you guys again. And I like to just sit and talk crypto with you guys, and also to get some feedback on how the student body's feeling about course material and learning objectives and all that kind of fun stuff. And if we're maybe lucky, we can make a small positive difference in this world. Who knows? So we had a spreadsheet that we've been following along here. Nick and I, we boldly predicted that the corn price would be a bit soft here this past week, and I think we just got smoked. Mind you, that's not too bad. We're only up whatever 3 or 4 grand here, so that's not crazy big move. But no softness out of the corn. I suppose Derek and Ben with their neutral bets were as accurate as it can be. And as I said, I think I've been right once this past reporting period. So just goes to show: trade your plan, trade your setups, put your opinions away. They're not, generally speaking, they're usually wrong. But who knows? Maybe I can get a little better at this. Do we want to wait till the end of the broadcast to make our grand prediction of what's going to happen next week? Then, I think that works.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like to wait to the end. That'd
All
be
right. So I guess the question ultimately here is, what the hell are we going to do this week? What do we feel like looking at? Is there any requests in particular? I actually wanted to get your guys' sort of weighing in on this thing. I read this article today. I noticed that the I don't know what you call them, sort of, okay boomers maybe of our society. They want to kind of try and crap on especially DeFi and the fact that it's going to sort of try and steal Wall Street's lunch from them, right from underneath them. But are you guys familiar with this squid sort of controversy?
I did read about it a little bit, yes. Not a ton though.
So I don't know, Derek, Ben, does that sound at all familiar to you?
The only thing I know about Squid is when I think about Squid is the show that's on Netflix. Other than that, I thought it might relate to something like that. Then my kids were talking about they play Splatoon, so they were talking about squids, and they saw that and they were like, "Oh, squid." So there's I think there's some relationship between all of it. I mean, I'm kind of
It's definitely related to the show, not the game.
not the game,
But yeah,
I
so
thought I saw somewhere down here, though, they explicitly said they were not part of the TV show or something like that.
yeah, they put warnings on like CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, but essentially it was this scam coin where you could buy it, but you could not sell.
Oh, yuck.
And so people just let it bid up and bid up and bid up, get more and more people to buy it, and then the whoever started it just rugged them and took all the money. But yeah, it was just completely unaffiliated with Squid Game at all. But People
Yeah.
saw the token, assumed some things, and lost some money.
So unfortunately, I do think that, sadly, remember, anybody that's been in the space a while, BitConnect was a pretty nasty sort of. I don't know whether, I suppose as long as the price of Bitcoin kept rising and they were able to perpetuate the Ponzi, I suppose it wasn't a scam. But of course, as soon as the market breaks and it rolls over and you can't perpetuate the Ponzi anymore without, more and more new money coming in, be prepared, everybody, that we will see more of this kind of stuff as we go through. And I just find it interesting that I think that this was a DeFi kind of play. And at least they talk about Pancake Swap. I think, isn't that the Binance sort of centralized DeFi? Am I right on
Yeah,
that?
it's their DEX. It's like Uniswap.
So just be forewarned. And I don't think anybody at TRI would fall into the trap of throwing all their money at one of these names. I mean, I do understand that probably there are going to be a few melons in everybody's portfolio, but just be forewarned that this kind of stuff, I think, will be on the rise going forward. Wanted to mention, I thought it was interesting, Stuart's got the algo engine sort of up and running. And just for the purposes of this show, I thought we'd just check in on what the algos are saying. Interesting how we've turned back up here now, eh? So we went through a period of sort of, and then, we just got through that Fed announcement. And now it sure looks to me like the algos are turning back up here. So get ready, folks. Now, kind of, what chart this kind of reminds me of is, Sjord's favorite one, that Luna, where it was sort of looking heavy. It could have tipped if somebody said the wrong thing. If there was some sort of scandal or something, it could have very easily tipped over. And it just sort of quietly cleaned up the overbought condition and started basing, started heading back up again. So that's probably a good sign for, the next, at least like the next month or so. And considering we're thinking about the massive, insane blow off top here in crypto. So, and I don't know, did the broader one? Yeah, see, this is interesting. This is more broad-based. This would include all the Trex names, all the Binance names, all the Kraken names and stuff we're following. And you can see it's turning back up here as well. So, strap on your seatbelts, folks. This could get pretty crazy. Thought it was interesting, an example of something that caught my attention. This is if I understand correctly, it's Luna's sort of proxy to be able to play the stock market. I'm not going to do the story justice.
Yep. No, it is. They have tokenized stocks. So
right.
and other assets. They have gold. They have commodities. They have lots of stuff. But
I don't know whether this audience has seen something happened here the other day that was quite over the top shocking. It's not really crypto specific, but I think it's going to bode well for things like that mirror. But I'm a big fan of following the market internals, and sort of a lot of the stuff that we teach on the site is about that. And what I want to show you is, where the hell is it? Maybe over here. I think it's over here. The Dow Transports did something quite remarkable there the other day. Actually, this looks like it's a bit delayed. So I don't know whether this is actually accurate or not. Let me just see if I can put it up on just a regular chart. I mean, Jesus, this chart looks... There's so much that looks so bullish in this stock market. And I think the stock market's about to go absolutely insane here. But what I wanted to show you was... there's, the Dow Transports. Usually they sort of like lead the market, and quite often you can't really get a buy signal in the Dow Industrials and the broader stock market without confirmation by the transports. Why can't I see transports on here? Am I blind? There it is, Dow Jones Transportation Index. Look at what that darn thing did there. I mean, yeah, that's a bit over the top. The Dow itself, right? It just looks like that. Are we gonna? Should we expect some sort of woo on the Dow, where it jumps like 10, 20,000 points here in very short order? I'll tell you, that's what these silly transports are saying. So, and what's fascinating is now some of these stocks they're actually like some of these. Yeah, I mean, in particular, the reason why this happened was there's a company called Avis, which is a car rental company, is just going absolutely ballistic here. And the problem is that it's like almost, this reminds me of the top of the Japanese stock market. It was almost exactly the same, where prices just went absolutely insane. So like this, damn stock, there's a double bottom there at $18, right? And it's a transport, okay, fine, it works, but works its way up to $500 a share. I mean, what the hell's going on in this world?
I heard this was similar to like the GameStop short squeeze, where there were a couple people that were shorting it really heavy, and they just kind of had them by the balls and kept putting it higher and higher.
Right, and like the whole stock market, this is the danger. I used to joke with a guy on the site, Shane, our astrologer resident. And actually, if you're big into GAN now, you should really get to know Shane. And we used to always joke, what does the world look like? A world's in swimming in like 18 trillion gazillion whatever dollars printed. A world of liquidity. Well, it looks like this, where in absolute insane things like this can happen. There's just so much money sloshing around the system, and it's all chasing just a few things, and you turn the tornado loose and all hell can break loose. So if that's the backdrop of the stock market, and this can happen on any stock at any point in time, crazy scenarios of Bitcoin doing these kind of crazy things into the end of the year are actually not really that outlandish. To me, to me, this actually doesn't seem like such a stretch when you look at that Avis chart. And yeah, they're probably going to have a bit of ramp up on the corn here shortly. And I have to say, man, I'm darn impressed with this crazy study. Somebody even on the site was like, why are people doing this? Like, why? I mean, the reason why I think we're doing this is because, I got to say, man, these similarities are quite shocking. This is usable information. I mean, it sucks because I remember when Powell there back in September, October said, oh, cryptocurrencies, I don't care about cryptocurrencies. Let them go do whatever they want. And woohoo! I mean, the market just took off. So I missed this specific trade. I should have added to the positions, but what the hell. But, the whole market feels like it's melting up. And, I thought it was really interesting that this one here, this is a crypto way to play the stock market. And in that, Luna has their whole sort of, and if anything, come to TRI and listen to Sjord's lectures on Luna. He'll do a far better job explaining it. As Nick just said there, what would be the textbook definition of this place?
I mean, it's essentially, they have tokenized stocks, and you can play them both long and short.
Yeah.
And so you can have those positions, but then you can also have those positions and provide liquidity for kind of those tokenized stocks and be able to get yield on top of also holding that position long or short.
Yeah. So I was a little skeptical about this coming out of the gate. I find it fascinating. I mean, the Luna story itself is is a real interesting. These guys actually had the balls to go and sue the SEC. One thing I don't like about this chart is this is a classic rising wedge pattern. I don't like the look of that. That kind of bothers me. And then also too, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the ETH no, I think it's like the micro futures contract are being listed. I think it's like the first week of December or something.
Yeah, I think that is for ETH. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a funny feeling. That's why I'd put that sort of arrow right there. I got a funny feeling there's some sort of pivot because keep in mind, in years gone by, Bitcoin loves to pivot. In fact, the 13-14 cycle, I think Bitcoin did pivot like the first week of December, if I'm not mistaken. So just be forewarned. And I told Sjord this, and I told everybody on the site, look, it just make my life easy and just go blast this son of a bitch up through here, close up here, and just leave this zone. Then we don't have to worry about this. But this chart pattern alone, if we just continue along this, that's actually a topping pattern. And that's a little yuck. So, enjoy the rally while it is. But what I got a funny feeling here, like I said, is that this mirror is a derivative of, wherever the hell the damn chart went, is a derivative of this Luna. And I guess that's what I'm kind of seeing. And if anything, if I understand correctly, Julian is going to be on the Daily Brief tomorrow. He has his show called The Baby Powder Report. And he's going to be, I can't remember exactly what he said. I don't know whether I want to give it away, but might be fun advertising. I'm just going to sort of try and paraphrase what he told me tonight is he's going to do. And come on the site and watch the, do the free 30-day trial. What did he say? Okay, Julian says, tomorrow is another special TRI show. I've secured 50 whitelist spots for TRI members to be in the Genesis Mint for the Deviants NFT. You guys know what the hell he's talking about?
Do not, but I'll do a quick Google search.
First play to earn card game on Terra with Do Kwon as angel investor. Ooh. So I would strongly suggest if you are interested in Luna, if you're interested in NFTs and what I just said there, I don't really know this stuff. Julian's basically our in-house expert on this stuff now. And then, of course, Sjord's driving the bus. Maybe pop in and watch the Daily Brief tomorrow. We might have a really captivative audience. But I think he's going to have actually special guests on the show too. So super stoked about that. Anyway, I just, guess what Brian bought? What's this one candle called in Brian land? Ben? You should have just done this.
It's a bullish engulfing.
Yeah, but more importantly, look at how many bars did it engulf here.
A couple.
Yeah, so if it engulfs at least two, what do I call that? Anyway, and actually, Sjord wants to call it a Beamish reversal. So, and maybe that's a good idea because a lot of my names and shit that I've given to other people, it's just ended up in train wreck. I should just name everything Beamish. Anyway, so in the course, what do we call? Try and convince you to name something like that. Anyone?
Is it a key reversal?
Oh, very good. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a bunch of them that are popping up all over the place. So I don't know whether we'll do it in this video, but just to sort of sneak peek of the kind of tools that we have in the works at TRI. I actually have a screener that hunts for key reversals, Beamish reversals, whatever we're going to call it. I don't know. Let's see if we have any. I don't know whether we have any in crypto that have come up. No, it's pretty quiet. Actually, really interesting. Wow, what an example of a key reversal. Look at this AMD. Beautiful breakout. So there's the key reversal, and look at what it's done following that. Chung chung. This thing's just getting ready to rock and roll there. So there's your key reversal, a bullish one, and look at the reaction following. So they're very powerful signals. Actually, be interesting. Let's see. Here's a bearish one. I love this. And it's so simple. It's just a one candle pattern. So there's a nice bearish top. Starting to work its way down. So that confirmed. But those are boring. Okay, boomer markets. Where's crypto?
Can you ever have a key reversal that's big enough to where it like takes you out of a location reason for a trade? Like if you're in a location and then there's a huge candle, do you ever consider that, or do you just trade the heck out of it if the next one goes above?
So the problem is I mean it really all depends on what you're thinking, right? If you're thinking trend continuation, like that AMD, I mean you could argue that you're gonna have me coming in and buying here, Brian. Oh God! I mean, this has got to hold your nose and take a deep breath and. Now you want to just trade the key reversal bar. That's basically the range of your risk. Well, it's not a terrible approach. I mean, it works pretty well. Unfortunately, from sort of that risk taker ideal trade location, can you kind of see the really tight little W down in here? And lo and behold, look at what we have right there, right? So like this breakout here, that's probably more along my lines where I've got 1, 2, 3 kilos to risk against kind of stuff, chicken shit kind of trade. This is more sort of higher octane. My hunch is if you took that AMD chart and you broke it down, that's probably a bullish bot setup here. And it's like only one low to risk against. So, if you're the type of person like I need multiple reasons, I have high anxiety, I can't handle this kind of stress, I would just leave this alone. But one thing I really want to do, and I'm going to get Stuart to do this, is just simply build an algorithm and we'll just buy that breakout and we will risk to a break of these lows. And just that simple. The computer takes over, computer does all of the trading, enter, exit. If you get a shitty stop and you get liquidated at a terrible price, so be it. I'm next bus in 10 minutes. I mean, the good part about key reversals is, if you can actually catch the top, usually they go on a very, very long way. Like that TD was a really good example where, like this one, the reversal came in up top here. And where is it? Up here. And literally the signal fired here, you race up to here, so they do nothing, and then all of a sudden the thing starts collapsing. So, I mean, hell, you could have done nothing and even still seen it go lower, but my hunch is probably would have taken profit somewhere in here. There was a Canadian election right in here, and that's when I got out of this trade on that event there. So, what am I trying to say here? I prefer to hunt key reversals at extreme ends of ranges. So this is my bread and butter, actually shorting that key reversal up there, looking at that. I think okay trade. I mean, trade made money. I mean, it wasn't monster money. There was a really good example. I think it was Resolution. This is one of my favorite ones because it was just so blatant. You see, everybody's talking about lumber and all that, right? So these guys are forestry stock. And look at the size of that reversal there. Wow, pow. And then it gaps higher the next day. I mean, talk about a bullish signal. That was difficult. You couldn't have traded that one. But the trade that I did take and that got me into this trade was way down here, I think. Where the hell was it? It was right down at the bottom. It was just so awesome. I can't find it. Of course, never can. Somewhere in all this mess here. And this is actually what initiated the trade for us. Maybe, actually, you know what? It might have even been oh, darn. I hate when I do that. You get all that nice inertia, beautiful story. Oh, it just reads so perfectly. And then, okay, so just check this image to validate it all. And you can't find the image. I look like an idiot. Well, there is a nice key reversal there, but that would have been very difficult to trade. Darn it. Anyway, there was one down at the bottom here that got me in. And that's why I bought this thing, but I can't seem to see it down here. Let's go. I'm wasting time now. Darn it. Darn. If you don't believe me, come on the site and ask me, and I'll find it for you later on. I know I tweeted it out and stuff. Sometimes it's hard to see these things. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think it was on the U.S. stock. That's probably why. All right, bear with me. I know this is torturous. Old man's got to validate himself. There it is. Look at this key reversal. And this is what I actually bought. I bought this trade right there. That is absolute textbook. And the thing is that's, it's not really overly exciting trade location. Hopefully you can see it's kind of very body. Broke this trend line. As soon as I saw that, I was just all over this thing. And that turned out to be just an insane trade, eh? Fucking A. So, I love key reversals. So, I wanted to show you guys it on the site, but I'm not seeing key reversal signals here today, which sucks. So, I guess the engine is still working. I did notice that, sometimes key reversals in crypto, they're hard to find, but I do see there's just the data is not coming in just yet. So, we'll save that for a future episode, maybe, if we're lucky. Okay. Being a little bit off topic. It was kind of fun to look at that mirror. I went and bought some today. I'm the type of guy, I'll put my money where my mouth is. So I thought I'd show you. It was really interesting. I've been watching that mirror for a while, so it was really interesting to finally see it turning back up. Where is my crypto list? Darn. It should be around here somewhere. Fudge. Oh, here it is. Good. Let's see. I also bought some of that Digibyte. I thought Digi was one of my favorites from last cycle. Did we do Digi through the summer? I seem to remember we did.
We did. I think it was around high 80s, maybe. In the top 100.
Actually, this is a really good example. It kind of broke one of my rules. Tisk, Brian. We did get the trend line break, but you can see there's no W yet. Now, I even remember when I talked to people about on the site of me buying this here, I even remember I bet I'm going to pay a penalty here for being a little bit too hasty. So let's see how that goes. That might be a really good example of Brian having to eat some humble pie there. We'll see how that goes. Really cool. If anything, this should be a really good example of don't do what Donnie don't does kind of thing. Let's see. Is there anything else really I've been excited about in crypto? Is there anything that's really treated you guys really well? Andrew, he got off a huge win on this ARPA. Look at that. Nice trading, Andrew. I bet you a whole bunch of his guys. Thinking that the Magnus group, I think he's part of that. They all did really well on this. Did any of you guys get to participate in this one?
Nope, I am not on Binance.
Oh, that's what this is? Oh, isn't that interesting? So, you guys in the U.S., you're not allowed to be on this thing?
No, not if that's the regular Binance.
It does look like it's on Coinbase now. So I guess I could have, but
maybe that's why it mooned like that, eh? Could be.
Maybe it's only been like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Did you guys listen to Danny's presentation on Colin's podcast there the other day? Jeez, that was impressive, eh?
I listen to everything Danny does.
Yeah.
Those are my big wins over the last few months. I was up to a 90x on Spell.
Excellent. Well, that's good to hear. Nice. LRC. Wow, what's LRC? Anyway, this is one that Danny said that he wanted to buy. And I think the first podcast that he did was back here. And when I heard him say that, I threw my bids in. This thing just will not come back down, probably because he's a fan of it. And everybody's got their orders to buy it that they want to get into. So be forewarned if you can, and I think he's got basically the Midas touch right now in this space, eh? Andrew was telling me, Andrew, Shane, and I have this fun little fund, and they went and did time, and it was like 69,000% or something like that. Does that sound at all right to you guys? I don't know what the hell they're doing.
69,000%.
Just some insane over the top number per APR that they're getting. I don't know. Doesn't. But dude, they did it a while ago when the darn thing was right at the bottoms.
Oh, I bet they're talking about Wonderland. Is that a Danny coin that they were talking about? Was it Time?
Time is Andrew told me time is the thing. And I did show the chart on that chart X Pro, but you're telling me that place is now gone fucking full shill, eh?
Yes, they did.
These guys, the chart X Pro.
Yep, you're not going to have a lot of fun trying to get on Avalanche coins there.
Survey says nothing.
Give me 1 sec. I'm going to find you a replacement. Give me a sec. Go on to something else. I'll get you a link.
Okay, I don't know. Derek, what should we talk about next?
I don't know. Somebody wanted to take a look at Doge. That was a while back.
Doge.
But
good old Alan. Did we ever figure out whether Alan was part of the Shiba and all that stuff?
Yeah, I don't think he is.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed pretty upset, and he was trying to tweet about Doge while it was on it. I don't think he owns any Shiba.
Oh, okay. I mean, I know you guys like to follow Binance. It's interesting. I think, I seem to remember you telling me about Secret before, Nick. Does that sound familiar to you, the Secret Network?
I mean, I've known about it for a long time. I don't own any, though.
Yeah, that was me. I have a little bit of
Cool. I know it kind of went a little bit nuts recently.
Yeah, it did, and they announced some sort of NFT on there too, with like Quentin Tarantino or something like that. So they're doing it. Everybody's doing NFTs, so that's their new.
New thing
they got going on.
So anyway, the point being that somebody asked me to babysit some Secret because they were in an area that they weren't supposed to have it anymore or something, you know. But in Ontario, Binance got into trouble. They haven't really dropped the hammer on BC yet, so there's still a lot of guys here in BC that are still using it. All right, there you go. Thanks, Nick. So it was kind of funny. I had Sjord log into the Binance account because I'm here in Canada. I don't want to touch that because I know part of my country is sort of at war with them and part hasn't weighed in. So I let Sjord log in from the Netherlands. And hopefully we don't raise any red flags or anything, but hopefully anyway, it was kind of funny watching Sjord dance and try and liquidate that Secret for that gentleman. It was kind of cute. Thank you, Sjord, if you're watching this. Site members appreciate it. All right, so time USD. Look at that. That's what I call a bull market. Strong arm bull. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty much up only since it came out.
Oh boy. Actually, 1 kilo, 2 kilos, 3 kilos, 3 kilos. Actually, Danny might like that. 3 kilos. I would paraphrase him, but I'm gonna get into trouble with YouTube.
We just go F.
F-ing.
Yeah.
That's great. Dude, love you. I'm not critical whatsoever. You're a way smarter guy than I am, and you're the fucking man right now. So effing A, way to go, dude. It looks to me like his coin's about to go ape shit here. I mean, look at all that energy. Who wants to do a Foggin bomb off this? Okay, we'll have fun here on YouTube. Give me an upside prediction of where you think this is going based on Foggin bomb. We'll do some crazy predictions. Anybody. And, Ben, you give me a number. No?
I haven't got my tools on me, but what's that? 18?
Yeah.
18,000 up there?
It's,
I think it's, I don't know, like A, B, C, D, go maybe up
yeah,
to
that
like
one's going to take you up quite a ways.
14.
Give me a prediction. What's 2.618? And you just have to eyeball it. You can't do the actual math. Look at Nick. Nick, I can see you quick.
Are you doing the right side of the W?
Yeah, that's the way I do it. Yeah.
Okay.
But actually, there's a couple you could do here, but that's here nor there. Okay, I'm just having fun. I was kind of, I don't know.
23.
What?
It's going off the
what are you saying
screen.
there,
It's
Derek?
going off the screen.
It's going off the screen. So we'll
Yeah.
put Derek. Derek's going to be way up there. Where are you, Ben? Derek's 17,000. Where are you, Ben?
I'll get 24.
24.
Wait, are we
Whoa,
doing
way
the
back.
2.618?
Yeah.
Or well, I mean, that's got to be maybe like, I'd say like 14 and a half.
14 and a. Oh, okay. You're cheap.
For
Okay, so
a
down.
2.618. Yeah, 'cause
I
you're
don't do
going from
math.
like-
I just eyeball it.
you're going from like 6,000 to 9,000.
All right. So we've got this low back up to this high. Oh, actually,
Whoa, I
it's
thought we were
back.
doing the right half of the W.
Well, so we'll do both of them. All right, so this one, where's 2 point? Oh, not bad. Whoever said 17 and a half, that was nailed that one. And then this one, I guess we'll go like that. Oh, interesting. And that's 14 and a half. So I'd say we've got a conservative objective of that 13, 14, and an aggressive objective of about 17, 18 on Danny here. So actually interesting, probably that FX, what's that site, FXY or FXT or whatever they used to do. They basically did forwards on everything. Might be interesting to see whether you could strap on a leverage trade on him there. 'Cause that thing looks like it's going up.
They do not have time on FTX. That's only on Avalanche right now.
Oh yeah. Oh geez. So Avalanche owns it.
Oh well, no, I take that back. They did move it to Phantom, but it's still on a decentralized blockchain.
Wow. Well, Danny's the man, eh? So it makes a lot of sense. I would imagine a lot of people just listen to that podcast. They're just like, I just want a piece of him. I just want a piece of him. But I also heard too that he was like saying, well, we're just going to design this so it always just keeps going up. So you say something like that, and then, geez, this is going to create an avalanche of buy-side pressure. So congratulations, Danny. You effing god. All right. Anyway, I don't know. What should we talk about next, Joe? Oh, somebody asked if we could look at Doge, eh? Now, actually, ironically enough, on the exact polar opposite side of this investment spectrum, we'll go look at Doge. I suppose there's a lot of people that are super fans of Alan, so I probably shouldn't talk too derogatorily. Now, where do we want to look at this? Do we want to look at it versus like Tether over on Binance? Is that sort of the best place for us to look at price action? What do you think?
I think it's a good one.
Yeah, either there or Coinbase.
I don't know when Coinbase listed.
I think
Doge,
I
so
guess
I'm
if
not
Coinbase
sure
has the history of that the last sort of move up.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's probably not.
I'm not
that,
sure.
that much info. Yeah. See,
yeah,
ironically enough, I think that wasn't this thing just listed in the spring on this platform. Anyway,
Yeah.
well, we'll do the Tether one, I suppose, on Binance because that's where all the cool kids are, right? So, I mean, the problem here is that this thing already has had a substantial run. So you're coming to the story after the fact. I suppose it'd be interesting to see what kind of fibs this produces. Looks like this is zoomed out. Maybe I can reset this. Hey, there we go. A little bit bigger picture. So, actually, it's interesting. Steven, he would probably conjecture that this is some sort of harmonic. Mind you, it needs to get back to that 38 for that, something like that to set up. And actually, I think this actually has to go up here, but I don't know. I think that's just too far away from 38.2 to be relevant. 32.1, I think that's just too far. So I don't think that's the case. Hey, Andrew.
Yeah.
That time percentage you said, what was that crazy number?
Is that like 70,000 I think now?
70,000. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, I mean, keep in mind it's auto compounded, which I mean, it's still a lot, but you get like a little over 1% a day. It's maybe like 1.6% a day. But if you take 1.016 and you take that to the 365th power, you'll get 7,000%.
There you go. So these crazy crypto kids are getting rich. So
I mean, if it can keep its price for a year, yes. but it's an exponential curve, so you don't see those gains until the end of the year, pretty much.
Somebody was telling me that they went and picked up some of this mirror a while ago, but because that they staked it and they've been collecting the mirrors all along here, that actually even now they're breaking even.
Yeah, I
which
believe
I thought
it.
Was fascinating.
Mir used to have really high APYs. I mean, they're still pretty good.
Yeah.
But they, I mean, it definitely wasn't 70,000%. But I mean, they were very, very good APYs. And so, yeah, if you were even farming in that $10 to $12 to $14 range, I'm sure you're still okay if you've stayed in the whole time.
I look at that chart, and that chart's just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I think I told you I went and bought some, right? I couldn't believe that when I saw that. So it looks like it's ready to go. Anyway, so Adam says, get off your attitude, Beamish, and go buy some of this goddamn Doge. It's a buy. Let's see. He says he wants us to look at it a weekly chart. I don't know. Ugh. Really? I think there's better fish for us to fry, dude. I really do. You know, this is fun. Blow off top. Make some money up here. Woohoo. We're all fucking geniuses. I don't know. It just looks like no man's land. I think that, you know, like I would much rather take a shot on that mirror down here, right? I mean, holy Jesus! Look at the difference in charts, eh? I mean, seriously. Look at that chart, Adam. I mean, that's everything that we do at TRI. You know this, right? Versus him, kind of just sort of right in the middle of the range. You know, I mean, that could very easily dump down to here. It could very easily go up to here. It's like literally a coin toss. So I don't know, Adam. I would much rather take the shot on that mirror than this here. But so what? It's just Brian's stupid opinion. It doesn't really mean anything. Okay, what should we do next? Oh, we never. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought there's nothing really for me to get excited about Doge here. It's just like, yeah, it's there. I mean, I suppose, you know, if you got another W to kick in here, then maybe we could start, you know, 3 higher lows, bots, all that kind of fun stuff. Maybe that's what their plan is, right? I suppose you're seeing like here to here, something along those lines. Boom. And actually, this has even gone beyond 66, so that's actually not good. I don't know whether I would even consider this body. I tell you, man, I think there's better fish to fry elsewhere. And wait, did Doge ever go down the DeFi road? Are they a DeFi? Are they an NFT? Are there Doge NFTs? Isn't Doge NFT an NFT itself?
I don't think so. No, I don't think they're in a DeFi space necessarily.
I will say that one thing Danny did, not with Doge, but he made Shiba actually have some utility where you can use it as collateral to borrow some magic internet money. But then again, it's so volatile. If people do that at the top, they could be liquidated if it dumps.
Yeah.
But I mean, Shiba actually has more utility than Doge does at this point.
Oh.
which I don't think I'll ever get over the fact. Like I just can't get it in my head to buy meme coins because I feel like I don't have any sort of alpha there. I feel like I can research. Like I found some of the Danny coins really early, like even before like I heard the Hero Labs guys talking about it and some of that stuff. But
speaking of which, can you comment on that?
On what? On Hero?
Yeah. Do you know what the hell's going on over there? I didn't get. I mean, I suppose that's not great, but it is interesting. There's a cute little fight going on here. Do you know anything about what's going on over there?
They did release a new like dev release on not on like production Solana, but I think it's on like Solana's DevNet. So they did just release a call it a development build, a pre-beta, whatever you want to call it. They released something that I think has gotten some attention. I do think the guys that are building that are really smart. So I don't own any Hero. I do think eventually I will own Hero, whether it's this cycle or whether it's in 2 years when we bottom out or whenever it is. But I am bullish on Hero long term. I just don't know what their roadmap is.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a pretty image to see. And I suppose there's also that image that is not really very pretty. But I was surprised, versus Tether, this looks like a train wreck. Which kind of sucks. But I was surprised when I looked at it versus Bitcoin. It actually jumped out at me. And I don't know whether maybe I just threw a couple of, I like to go buy like 0.02 BTC of stuff. And on that W that I saw, I don't even know whether the W confirmed. It might not have. It might have. Let's see what we got here. Oh, not quite. But I took a bit of a shot just off of this breakout here this morning when it broke out through there. I went and picked some of that up. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting fight. But and actually it's interesting that you do know that. So actually they did push something out that was kind of development wise, and so that's maybe why it's consolidating and moving up a little bit. I mean, I did like it when I looked at this chart. What jumped out at me that got me all excited was the fact that it was right back against all these lows right in here. But when I looked at it versus Tether, I almost lost my lunch. So we'll see how it goes. But it's an interesting little stab. I took a shot. I believe in Colin. I got the impression this thing got bid up. I guess the interview that he did the other day, does that have anything to do with Hero? Or is that a different organization?
No, that was just... So him and Crypto Messiah, who they were the two that were interviewing Danny. They both work for Hero. I'm not sure. I think Colin might do something else with Hero besides like being an influencer and I don't want to say marketer, but just somebody who is there to kind of bring attention. I think Colin actually does do something else, but Messi and Colin both stream for Hero Labs. They're really good influencers for them. The interview was definitely not anything to do with Hero. That was a new podcast that the two of them are starting.
Frog Nation or something?
Yeah, Frog Nation. That has nothing, as far as I know, it has nothing concrete tied back to Hero.
Yeah.
Definitely not the protocol.
Yeah. Okay, so kind of unrelated. I was wondering whether just maybe there's some inertia that that podcast might have generated for the Hero guys, but okay, well, we'll see how it goes. Good luck, Hero.
I mean, they are influencers for Hero, so anything they do, like people take it in a lens of Hero. I think that's me speculating, but I don't think there's anything official with that podcast. I could be wrong though.
So, what do you think about all this DeFi stuff, Ben? You're awfully quiet here. Where do we go next with all this?
Yeah, I mean, I thought something interesting out of Facebook this week with the metaverse. It seemed like NFTs to do with metaverse had a bit of a a pump.
Oh,
I don't
the
know.
lunar
I know
breakout.
even Mana seem to maybe connect with that story a little bit. So
Did you
um,
have any mana?
I had some cube, um, which is a similar story.
Cube?
I'd let my mana go.
Is Cube the Somnium something cubes?
Yeah, Somnium.
Yeah, that one crazy too.
Yeah, that one
CUBE
was,
like that? Somnium
Yep.
Space?
That
yeah,
one.
on Gemini.
Yeah. There you go. Kaboom.
That
Wow, look at
was a
those
fun one.
W's. Can you, I mean, does it make sense now? You guys have worked with me long enough that, we really want to be all over that crap. I mean, look at that. It even W'd again right off of that same level. Gee whiz. So, where were you long?
It was down there. I don't know exactly, but it was yeah,
What a level.
yeah, everything you teach.
That's all around 2 and change, eh? So here we are. So it went 10x. Oh, way to go. I guess actually a name that I kind of like right now that I was buying, which is kind of tied in with these guys. We'll see how it goes. I don't know, but I really like this AKT. Did see somebody over there on Wade Wilkins. AKT BTC is my favorite at this moment. So we every Monday we have Stuart, our CTO on TRI. Sort of he's kind of the brains in crypto for myself and Stuart and Julian. I think he's the smartest guy when it comes to all of this. Actually understanding the mechanics behind crypto. And he's super jazzed about this one, AKT, as you can see. Based on his recommendation, and this is everything that I do, I just put myself on a buying plan. And actually we spat up another buy signal in here. Turns out I got about 4 G's or so of this on the books right now, so I don't really need to add any more right now. But good looking chart. So Wade over there. I guess Wade likes that little W. That's a pretty good looking little W, eh? So last time at W, look at what happened following. Woohoo! Maybe that's in the works here. So I do kind of like that one. I don't know. Actually, well, I don't know. Nick, are you familiar with this?
Yeah, I it's one of my favorite fundamental plays in all of crypto.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Like it's literally decentralized cloud. You think of Amazon Web Services, AWS, Google Cloud, Azure. It is doing that at a fraction of the cost.
Wow.
And they have real customers. I haven't kept up with them a ton in the last couple months, but I know they were planning on rolling out a feature where they had a revenue share that goes back to the stakers. And so if you're staking, I think it was something like you can already get 60 or so % staking it. But then in addition, the revenue model would almost give you like another, I'm making up numbers here, but like maybe 50 to 100% if they did implement that at whenever the price was. So I couldn't be more bullish on something like this. Will it do well? I have no idea. But the use case is great.
This is a no-brainer.
The use case is fantastic. The tech seems really good. I really like it.
Yeah, man, maybe I'll go buy some more. Well,
Do you know for US people where they could get that? I don't think it's on Bittrex for us.
yeah, it's one of these
so
damn things.
I actually go and buy it on Cosmos. So what I do is I buy Atom on Coinbase. I send it over to my Kepler wallet, which I can help you with this later if you want. But then once it's there, you use a DEX over there called Osmosis to buy it.
Okay.
Wow, that was
can do
that
that.
was a nice little value bomb you dropped there, sir. If you happen to have there's Joshua. He's already got KEPLR.
Yeah, no, Sharky has done that.
Oh,
Sharky's been talking about Osmosis lately.
Good for you guys.
So he's done
you're
that
so
same
smart.
process.
Yeah, Joshua basically spent 4 days in Manaland, dancing up and down and staring at What was the celebrity that was in there he was oogling over? What's her name? You guys, what's the girl's
Paris, I think. Paris Hilton.
name? Yeah, there you go. All right. There's there there you go, Josh. And actually Joshua, he wants to help us get that booth up and running in Decentraland. Just to have these shows, wouldn't it be cool just to have these shows just constantly playing? So anybody that just wanted to sit down and, actually just have like charts that are just going and guys just talking charts and levels and shit. I mean, wouldn't that be so cool? Just anybody could just sit down at any time and just watch. I think that'd be great. Anyway, if you feel like helping us, the address, the ETH donation address. Thank you for the 2 donations we've gotten over the past 19 weeks. I appreciate it. I think it came to $123. Woohoo! But what the hell? Hey, that's better than nothing. So I appreciate the help. And one day we will get our mana booth going in Decentraland with your assistance. So, okay, I gotta say, that AKT sure looks pretty darn good. Nothing wrong with that idea whatsoever. We talked a little bit about that hero. That was an interesting one. Man, my Ubik and Geo. Geez, these guys just can't buy a friend over there. This is the danger of just being listed on one exchange and just on Trex. Wow, look at that liquidity wash. Oh, God, how painful. They're just punishing weak hands here. I've always liked Geo. I thought this was like geocaching way to actually earn coins through location device. I always liked that story. One day these guys will do something. I know they will. I have confidence. That was interesting. Mona, the irony of it all is people ask me, do you want to buy Mona or do you want to buy Doge? I actually would prefer to buy the kitty over the dog right now. I always like that. But this is sort of a Japanese kind of meme coin, I suppose. The guys, I love these guys over at Sys. Mind you, I guess the trade's over. So there's nothing you can really do there. But I've always liked them. They're probably going to hear some big things out of these guys.
That was a nice trade.
Yeah, pretty textbook, eh? I mean, just absolutely so textbook. So anyway, good to see that you like that trade. Also, OMG. I think OMG looks like he's getting ready for another leg higher. I noticed he just keeps pushing higher here over the recent time. So we got the Fed out of the way, so that's good. Now, really, it's just a question of, like I said, I think the stock market's going to melt up here. And I got a feeling it's just going to drag crypto with it. And it's interesting to watch in the stock market, kind of like why that MIR appeals to me, is if you look at some of the stock market proxies, oh my goodness, do they ever look strong. And, anybody who plays Vancouver stock, I was talking to one of my buddies today. I think this is a fantastic name. They just got a whole bunch of S19 miners, and they've just cleaned this thing up, and they are in the business of mining Bitcoin with S19 miners. If you know what S19 miner cost of production is, you can understand they have a pretty good profit margin. So I actually even told a buddy of mine about that. And actually, it's interesting. He told me about this lithium stock, and look at that, eh? Tell me Vancouver stock promoters don't make money at this game. I mean, just the most beautiful breakout. This thing's going to take off here. Wow, what a pretty chart. I don't know whether any of you guys with me got in. We're talking stock market. I got to get out of stock market. Sorry. We got to stick on crypto. This is a crypto show. I have a bad habit of sneaking stock market in there.
I was going to say, even my Roth IRA is filled with grayscale crypto.
Yeah, we got a bunch of crypto proxies, and they are moving up. I mean, my account's very happy. So, all right. So, what do we want to look at next? Any specific names maybe you want to look at?
Derek or Ben, do you have one? I have something I want. I need more of, and I want to know what's the highest possible price Brian can justify buying some of this.
Oh, what's that?
Super Farm. The tag is super.
Super.
So I have a really decent sized free bag of this, but I just have a feeling that it's gonna do really well in the next coming couple months, and so I want more of it, and I want to know where is the highest price you would ever buy it at.
Well, I mean, W's are W's. I don't have a... if you see this thing, because keep in mind, right, good old Foggies, if this thing does what it probably is going to do, then that means probably, we've been seeing a lot of Mugen bombs lately, probably up into here, right? So, if you see that down the road, are you going to care? If as this price goes higher and higher and higher, that W gets smushed down lower and lower and lower. So you might look back and you might even think, well, that's not actually a terrible price to pay even right there. So the issue there, of course, is risk management. So little old ladies, I suppose. Joe Six-Pack. What's that price? $1.21. So that would be to like 60 cents. I could easily see it come down and play against that. So it's gonna be tough to Joe Six-Pack that. Little old lady, you could probably handle that. Because my hunch here is like the trader, right, is going to be just dragging the reload zone tool along here, and as we go higher. Interesting how if we do hit 2.618 there, notice how if we drag that up there, notice how 6.618 Mountain Man becomes the breakout, which is like our Benkoff check, right? So what ends up happening here is, I see this a lot, right? It'll come up here, and then this is the bifurcation. So at this point, it'll ask itself, all right, do I want to go to the next one, or do I want to come back and check the old one? And then it'll do the same thing up here, like that. And then this goes like that. And this is right back down to the bottom. It fails. So you can kind of see how it's going to walk its way down. So, we're at the breakout, and if it does go where it's supposed to go, the irony of it all is that, this would be the top of sort of the reload zone. And, after the fact, you'd look back and go, well, I don't mind being long here. So that's where it is right now, right? I mean, a little dip kind of thing. Where, ideally you want to be long, sure, like this, right? When you see this kind of, see big spring up and then coil, breakout. Oh, okay. Ooh, breakout again. Oh, so it keeps pushing up against this level here. That's clearly the level you want to be, the pivot, if you will, right? Probably also, too, see this big bottom here. So that's probably off of that high there as well. That's probably an important level.
Yeah, I bought that smaller, like that peak to the left of where you just drew.
Over here?
So like, down in the middle there. Yeah,
Nice.
I bought off of
you
that
can
one.
see the killer, I'm a badass W buyer.
I'm not a badass. I just...
And I mean, even this, like, here is the trade. I remember, like, the kids on YouTube, they're all like, okay, I'm going to show you how to trade. And, there's the reload zone. In fact, actually, remember, I think I demonstrated in the daily brief that crude oil set up this morning. That's sort of the same kind of thing right in there. So there's like the killer, I'm a badass motherfucker trader dude right there. That's their level. This is more kind of, Brian Oldman sort of, bots, higher lows and higher highs. And you could probably go AB, CD. Oh, and this is log.
Stupid log.
So what it means is you have to eyeball it. It's kind of a pain in the butt.
27 to a buck 22 is...
If you eyeball it, the ABCD, it comes up almost perfectly to that 2.618, eh? It's incredible how this shit all lines up.
So just fundamentally, these guys are... they're in the metaverse space, they're in the gaming space, they're developing 3 different games, which the reason I want more of this is I think their first game is going to be announced very soon. I actually have a feeling, a hunch, I have no evidence of this, that it's actually going to be playable right away. So I am kind of on a timer for when I want to buy more. But then they've developed tooling for people to be able to bring out NFT sets as well. It's owned and operated by and hyped by Leo Trades, who's a popular YouTuber. So he has a huge following that will pretty much buy this up whenever. I think it has a lot of stuff going for it. It hasn't really pumped like a lot of the gaming metaverse coins, and I don't know. I have one of those really weird like gut feelings about it.
All right, well, if that persists, especially if you get up into the great state of Minnesota, maybe have a professional look at that.
And it kind of launched like right as everything had was just peaking out, right?
Not quite.
I wonder what it looked like before this.
It actually, it didn't launch on Binance. It probably had a month before that, but it rode up really steadily up to like that $6 mark or so, $5 mark or so, and then.
See, the thing is, this is a log chart, eh? So that's probably a better way for you to look at it. These could be substantially higher levels, right? So the log scale is a little bit misleading, but to understand the bifurcation, you have to use the log scale. So just anybody looking at this, I mean, this is a long, long way away. All right, what is that? That's 6x, right, just from there. So looks to me like the buy level, and not a big surprise. Can you see how the breakout level here is basically $1? So that's sort of a big fat round psychological level. That doesn't surprise me. So my suggestion of you is you did want to get in on this thing. It's a pain in the ass because you probably have missed the trade. But you see how we've hit move stop to break even level here on this bot? That means if it pulls back here, actually you got to exit this long that you're in now. Which means that we probably, actually that's not what I wanted. Probably want to see this thing sort of come down and then issue a new buy signal, and that'll justify acting. That's a terrible color. Can't see it. So short answer for you, unfortunately, Nick, is don't chase. I mean, it's probably, hopefully that's the same thing you always hear from me. And you go, yeah, Brian, thanks. So that and 50 cents will buy me a cup of coffee. Then my next sort of piece of wisdom would be, let's draw reload zones. And I just want to see what the hell I've drawn here. Anyway. So we're going to draw reload zones, and we're going to try and sneak our way in. And first stop we want to hunt for is your buddy's pump chaser zone. So
that's my current plan right now. Is I have a bid at the 382. Well, I'm playing on Uniswap, so I'm not actually. I don't have anything in there right now. But I'm planning on buying at the a percent at the 382 and a percent at the 0.5.
Yeah, so it's interesting how we said that bot level was $1. It was like 98 cents. And notice 50% of this move is basically 101, right? So
what you're saying is I should probably take the 101 off, because if it gets down there, then that trade would essentially be over anyway.
Well, I don't mind the idea for, you don't have a position in it right now, right? That's what you're saying?
I have a free bag from back before, but I want more of it.
So if I didn't have a position, I think that's what I'm hearing. I mean, the free bag, throw it
Sure, yeah. You can assume I don't have a
like
position.
and just forget about it, right?
I have zero risk right now in it.
So the way I would look at this is just unfortunately, the right thing to do is just don't chase, and just, whether it be something like we're going to throw on a trend line here, and we're going to try and sneak our way in on a test of that trend line. That's Colin's pump chaser zone right in there. There's nothing wrong with that. If you already had a position and you were like, okay, I want to add to it, then I think what I would like to see is give me some sort of sign that this thing actually is bottoming and turning. Because you already got a bag, so it's not like you're like, oh, I'm just going to be left behind. I actually would prefer, and if you're going to just blindly bid, I absolutely love a good old 78.6 line in the sand. And anywhere sort of down in here, and that kind of makes sense, right? You can see how 78.6 is basically a test to that key low. So I would literally throw my bid in somewhere down in here, probably like against that tail, right in that tail there, and just work my stink bids. But that's a stinky bid, right? Somebody's got a really fat finger and really just want to get out of there ASAP. And you don't expect stink bids to be filled right away. When they do get filled, it's a gift. My hunch is, especially with the way these old highs are, probably just comes down, does something like this, and then we head up. But we'll see. Only time will tell.
Okay, thanks.
Also, too, this this fib here to here, yeah, see how that reload zone of this range is going to line up with the pump chaser zone of this entire range. I don't mind that, that's sort of like overlapping kind of reasons. So where's pump chaser? Right there, right? Yeah, so this area here from this low up to this, that's a reload zone right in there, especially against that key low right in there. That's, again, this is sort of like dips below a buck, I think, are buying opportunities. That's probably the easiest way to look at this. All right?
Cool.
All right, so that's that answer. Hope that was helpful.
No, it is. And I like, sometimes I take like a 0.5%. If it's just bothering me and I'm stressing out about it, I'll just throw like 10% of what I actually want to buy of it, and I'll just buy some.
It's not a bad idea.
It makes me feel better, and then I can actually get back to like looking for real buy zones.
And the simple rule is, and everybody over on YouTube, can you please answer this at the same time? What's the magic number percentage-wise of your stake that we're just not allowed to break? Just don't do it. I don't want to hear any of you doing it, because it's just asking for trouble.
Yeah, and just to be fair, I said 10% of whatever I was going to buy, not 10% of my stake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wade. Thank you, Ben. Ben, you're over there too? Yeah. All right, well, that's good. Nice answer. And then, of course, how often do we have to be right to break even if we have a 2-to-1 risk reward? And every time there's another guy on YouTube that does this, and everybody answers instantly. Oh, this number, this number, this number, this number. There we go. Thank you, Wade. Adam. So anyway, Wade got it. If you can just get into the habit of that, don't risk more than 5% of your stake on any single bet. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. It leads to heartache. Murphy's Law. The one that you bet big on is the one that's not going to work, and it's going to ruin your day. Just don't do it. And then the beautiful part about compounding and this idea that we are going to get paid when we're right relative to when we're wrong. If we can get paid $2 for every time that we are right and only lose $1 when we're wrong, we only have to be right 33% of the time just to break even. And I can tell you, if you're right 50, 60, if you can get up into that 60, 70%, then the money just gets ridiculous. So try and remember those two ratios, everybody. Save you a lot of headache. Hey, and I see that Great Dalmuti is on the call. Did I give you anything you can add to the notebook? And actually, I don't know whether you're aware. There's a guy on the site who's writing an ebook about all my crazy little expressions and sayings and stuff. So maybe, Great Dalmuti, we got to hook you up with Josh and see if we can go and publish something to change the world. I don't know. Okay, what should we look at next? What time is it? 7:30. Have you guys enjoyed the conversation? Who hasn't talked tonight? Derek, you've been awfully quiet.
Yeah, man. I don't. I'm kind of a boring guy, right? I don't have any.
Oh, come on.
I don't have any like anything new, right? I have like things like old stories that I'm sort of waiting for this top to come in so I can, or, for the market to really take off so I can finally get out, right? And but these are free positions. Well, I mean, in terms of like this whole crypto like blow off that we're talking about, like I'm kind of following. I subscribe to what the plan that you had talked about, which is, at the top, take as much out as you can. And I mean, there's things I want to do with that money, right? So I don't have a lot of newer ideas. I think the most recent thing that I invested in or bought was back in probably July, and that was synthetics when we were talking about that at one point.
What's the symbol?
SNX.
All right.
And I mean, other than that, like
that's good.
I'm invested in things like Theta and H-bar and
Theta, I think, is starting to look pretty decent as a chart too.
But those are things that I was buying during the last bear market, right? So I'm way up on those, but I'm just waiting for this last hoorah so I can really take the majority off the table or all of it off the table, so.
Well, all I'll say is it's fun to sort of Sedona euphoria. What are we going to do if the market goes nuts? Have fun and enjoy it. I wouldn't expect a massive blow off top. You get into that kind of habit, then you're kind of setting yourself up for heartbreak because it will never go as high as you really want it to go. And the worst part about it is if you say, okay, I'm going to sell when it goes 100x and it goes 99x, what do you do? I mean, that just I've seen it happen so many times in my career.
Yeah.
It drives you crazy. So.
And I don't doubt it. So I guess the question would be like, how to manage that expectation. And I mean, at this point, like I said, there's
spoon feeding. You know what I also like, and this is just me personally. I like to put myself, I suppose use a little bit of chaos theory to help you with levels.
I mean, and that's pretty much what I've been doing to manage them. Like,
what I do like about the chaos theory is it's like 2.618, then 4.69, then 877, then 16. So in essence, that basically is my sell half on a double. It just keeps doubling. It keeps doubling. It's a little bit more. If anything, I like the fact it goes like to 2.618. So if I want to take profits around 2, well, I'm probably pretty assured of fills. So I do like that. But what I was going to say was, rather than put yourself on a price exit timeline, put yourself on a time exit timeline. So like I personally think that into the end of the year and the beginning of next year is when the blow off top comes, and I've given myself permission to start dollar cost exiting averaging as of a certain price point on Bitcoin. It hits that, and then I put myself on a exit timeline, and I don't even really care what the price is. I just want to look back after the fact and say I took that 8-week window and I slowly exited out of my position. And I don't even care what the price is. So that's one way to try and help you deal with the anxiety, is don't put yourself in a position that you're expecting a specific price. Of course, that is predicated on the idea that the market's moving up, right? I suppose if the market's moving down, that's not such a good idea. But anyway, that would be my input. So Foggies, the sell half on a double kind of theory, that's also, in the level 3, remember when we started off, we talked about how do we manage ourselves to exit without, sort of overly thinking, and that's that spoon feeding. And I like that kind of thinking where kind of exact opposite of how Nick wants to accumulate something. And he's like, you know what? I just want to go get some. I'll go and grab a little 1%. And I'll just keep grabbing because I really like this idea. There's no reason why I can't do the exact opposite. Well, you know what? Today I'll let him have 1%. Oh, you know what? Hey, let's let him have a little bit more here today. Let's let him have a little bit more. Where you're just spoon feeding the market asset up at the top end of the range. So, there's some ideas for you to think about. Okay, all you guys over on YouTube want us to look at... I
mean, there have been a couple mentions of Filecoin tonight.
FIL? Is that what that is?
Yeah, FIL.
Yeah, so like the alts, what I dollar cost exit, those, I kind of think so. I also noticed too that a lot of the shit coins and stuff, they're just not getting going. And I just wonder whether they've had their day in the sun. Obviously this cycle's all about DeFi. So if you're not really a DeFi name, but I did find it interesting. Like I put a couple of names up there on the screen, like that storage. I am starting to see actually a little bit of sort of breadth to the crypto rally. So like this one started to perk up, looking pretty good. Mana, as I guess, is Mana, and Mana's not. What do we call that? You call that the metaverse, right? Stuff.
Yeah, I would call that a metaverse play. They do have NFTs where they sell land. Like land would be, I'm fairly certain, an NFT.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. All right. So would Filecoin and storage be under the same sort of category? Oh,
it's in the storage category, yeah.
Storage. I don't know. Isn't storage same sort of thing as file? They're kind of the same thing. Yes, no, maybe so.
Well, I mean, I think those two are in the same category, yes. As far as being able to store some sort of data.
All right. Sure looks like this guy came down very hard, very fast there, eh? Maybe a W over here somewhere might get you going. Unfortunately though, like you zoom in on a name like this, and trading, jeez. I suppose you could argue there might be a nice little trade window there, nice little inside bar, so you could risk down to a break of that low. So what's that? 59 down to 52, $7. Yeah, it's a little bit, about 12-13%. It's pretty heavy. Looks like there's some sort of tweezer bottom kind of pivot down in here, this whole range. I suppose there'll be a really big bottom if that level can get taken out at some point down the road, but that's kind of wishful thinking. So right now I would say you're going to really want to see a W on the other side of this trend line. So a really good example, oh, should I take the trade? Maybe. Oh, no, better. Oh, Jesus, just puked out. Recaptured the trend line, working its way up, but still not really a buy signal until, probably this goes and then like that. If you can get that, then all right. So still a bit early. Suppose this isn't a terrible location for you to be thinking about bottoms. Down in here. 78.6. I love 78.6 as location. Then I suppose you could probably do a little one down in here as well. There. So 78.6, this reload zone. That's a pretty good level in there. And then, of course, Brian, he loves going his candle body lows for trade location. Right, so it's there. Oh, killer level there. Well, it's not a buy yet. There's a whole bunch of really good-looking things going on here, but not quite a buy just yet. Damn close. So if you want to try and just keep this on here and just say, look at if as long as it holds above these lows, If it can turn back up through these highs, it becomes a buy. You can see MACD's try to put in a little bit of bull div right there. That's always good. You'd really like to see a W in this OBV here, so there's nothing really to get excited about that. Same thing with RSI, and same thing with Willie. Willie never did go stupid here. I guess it was stupid over here. But we never did get stupid again. So it's not even like it's oversold. You could have to like puke out and come back down here. So I guess, you know, I mean, that's not a bad little window of risk there. But if we lose these lows, then this thing's probably heading lower, right? So you can see they brought it right back against that trend line. Talk about that's a hell of a little level right in there. That was like literally two opposing galactic forces came to a head right on that event right there. So that's kind of cool. If you got a pullback in here, then you got any kind of inside bar or any kind of like little, like maybe even like you know, like a 1 hour bottom against this low. That, I mean, that was a hell of a battle level in there. And interesting, probably if you did a reload zone off of this range, I bet that takes us right back down into that level there. So if you get the gift of this thing coming back down, you know, take a screenshot of that, write some levels down here. What does that say? 55.16, right down to 53.68. That would be a hell of a level right in there. That would be awfully cool. I don't know if it can though, because it almost looks like this is a head and shoulders. So it's like that's a shoulder, there's the neckline, there's the head, there's the neckline. So, you know, David O, he would say, well, I don't want to see the right shoulder below this left shoulder. So notice how this did pull back here, even that pulled back there, and it's holding these. So the head and shoulders people, they want to see this thing bottom and then turn back up and see it later. If it has to come back down into here, then that probably takes the head and shoulders off the table, which is fine. You know, I guess momentum wise, you can see the div. Notice how lower highs in the MACD as this thing was making higher highs. So very sort of warning signs ish in here. And then started to fail. There's a double top breakdown there. Counter trend rally that bust that high, so kind of messy right now. My hunch is this was probably 38.2 along here. So the market, again, yeah, I think the market right now is just asking, do I want to be a head and shoulders? So, yeah, so there's that low that we mentioned, right? All those lows, there's 38.2. This is like calling pump chaser zone, right? So we go pump chaser, where are you, pump chaser? There you are, right in there. So if this is really an inverted head and shoulders, that these lows are key, these lows hold, calling pump chaser zone, then we see some sort of bottom turn. Ideally what you want to see is you want to see a div. So notice this was a lower low here, that's a lower low there. We don't want to see that. What we want to see is it come down, make a lower low, then turn back up, but this not make a lower low. So we create that divergence there. So, and it's still early. There's nothing to do here. This is just a mess right now. There's an M. There's a kind of an M, sloppy M. There's a little bit of a W right there. That was off of this test, initial test of 38.2. But to me, this looks like it still needs a lot more time to develop. And then, you know, the breakout higher will come on probably a push up top there against this, you know, and a W on the other side of this, and away you go. So watch this level in here, sort of this 59 to 61. See if you can get W's that come in on divergence. Notice like this here. See how the market made lower lows here, but look at MACD. It's making higher lows and higher highs, and then all of a sudden big breakout, and woohoo, away we go. So, and also too, notice RSI on the Bollinger Bands tightened up here, so volatility was coming out of price, set up the trade. So that's what you'd want to see to mark that this thing's ready to go. Right now, Market's super volatile. Look how wide the Bollinger Bands are. They're actually expanding now. See how they're going up? So that means volatility is increasing here into this asset. There's no trade setting up here just yet. And actually, I love how Sjord really focuses in on this. This really keeps you honest. You got to wait for the consolidation in the Bollinger Bands before you get ready to take a trade. So the fact that this is expanding like this, that's not a good sign. Just means you got to leave it alone for a bit. So, I don't know. Who asked about that? Does that was over on YouTube, right? Fred, what do you think? Fred Drums, does that have any value to you at all? Hope so. Tony H, he wanted to see that too. GRS versus BTC. GRS BTC. Grosling. Oh, this is one of my piece of shit ones. Isn't it? This feels like I got a whole list of the pieces of shit that really they just have not participated in this bull market. But I think I was lucky and I got a double off on this one. GRS, yeah, there it is there. So, this is, if anything, a testament to buy, and yeah, I got a double off there. But look at that. Jesus, did it puke out the other day all the way down to here? Oh, what a mess. So this is a perfect analogy that, geez, the shitcoins just did not participate in this market at all. And I get the impression that it's just not their market. Yeah, just like Ubic. Like, what the fuck's up with Ubic? I thought this is actually a pretty good story. I think the guys behind it are credible, but man, this thing just can't buy a break these days. They're just making new lows. This thing might just go off the board. Too bad. The guys one of the guys, he's actually really active in Decentraland. Probably Sharktoshi ran into him over there. Aaron, super nice guy. We went and climbed a mountain with him, Mount Seymour, recently with him. That was fun. Oh, geez, about 3 or 4 months ago. And then Alex Sturck. I thought he was a pretty credible guy. But man, this Ubic just can't get out of its own way. It's kind of sad. But if anything, a fantastic analogy. This is why you do not put more than 5% of your money in any one name, no matter who it is. Just don't do it. Because you never know who's going to break your heart in this world. XRPT? Is that Cripple? XRPT. You guys know who this is? XRPT?
It's called, I think it's Persistence. I think it's only available like on maybe 1 or 2 exchanges. Like
it's a Cosmos project.
Oh, is it? Okay, they were I think they work on a couple of different blockchains.
But USD? That what looked like? Well, that looks interesting. I always like to see names that make higher highs and higher lows. That always gets me excited.
Wait, I do not think this is correct.
Well, that's XRP.
This is Ripple based off of True USD.
All right. Maybe Cripple's a buy. I haven't looked at Cripple in forever. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, Cripple's got a nice little bullish bot working.
We might want to try your alternate charting source for XR.
Yeah.
Or XPRT, I think is what it is. XPRT?
Yeah, well, since we're here, we might as well map this out for people. So, and actually, Cripple, man, this used to be all the rage. What happened to the Cripple army? Remember all that? Were any of you part of the Cripple army?
Nah, I kept getting dumped on early on, so I kind of gave up on Cripple.
So hopefully you can see. It looks to me like the buy on this thing, if you are interested, is right there. Then wow, look at that beautiful inside bar reversal right there. That's even right off the bot level. So boom. So a couple of half decent little buy signals there. Heading on up to $1.72. Gonna go take out those highs. Doesn't surprise me. So I'm gonna move that up there a bit. Anyway, so there's your Cripple. Problem is you're saying that that's not what we're looking at here. Oh, look at, did this thing break out? What's that high? 88.54, 89.28, sitting right now 88.23. Actually, I'm surprised this thing hasn't broken out. 88.54, 88, what did we say there? 23. So it's got another good $30 or so, eh? Okay, I still think this thing's going fucking apeshit here. I mean, that's a very strong looking chart. Now, what
I
do you
hope
want
you're
to
right.
look at over here?
I was
It's
XPRT.
XPRT. Okay, which one do you want me to do here? Persistent, that's what you were saying, right?
Yeah, but not versus a Rowan. Do the fourth one. Try the fourth one.
This one here?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work, though. It's on Quick Swap. That probably doesn't have a lot of liquidity, but we can see what pops up. You should be able to look at it on TradingView, though.
Not got anything there.
Like, I have a chart on TradingView that I watch with it.
Okay.
yeah, it's there.
I don't want to do that there.
On the left window.
Don't want to do there. Where was the old charting one that I had up here? Oh well, guess we'll do it here. Okay, so then we'll try that again. XRPT.
XPRT.
Alright, try again. XPRT. Which
Yeah,
one?
and
do
then
we
you
look at?
can
Oh, there's
probably
your
pick
persistence.
any of them. Yeah.
So I
pick one of
must.
the-
You know what I probably did the last one is I just typed in XRP because
Del Moody says Ascendex is a good one to pick. So try that third one.
This one.
Yeah, try that.
USDT. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, kind of middle of the road. You can see. I mean, now hopefully what happens is you guys look at a chart like this and you can go, well, I can see exactly where Beamish is going to want to belong. So hopefully I'll see that W down in there. Right. And then hopefully you see this W here.
Yeah, I was gonna say for the non-pro traders, there was a little better W to grab in the middle there that you just highlighted.
Yeah. So question I suppose is this a reload zone? This is the easiest way to keep you out of trouble, folks. It's just you are not allowed to buy unless we are at or below reload zones. Just try and remember that. Great Del Moody. Hopefully that's one of your golden rules in your book. And then, the super insane pro, I'm a killer trader, look at me, mom kind of idea is when you get down into these higher time frame. Remember I did this in crude oil this morning with you guys, right? So you get into this higher time frame zone, you're like, okay, well, this is the buying window. Then you drill down to your lower time frames and you do everything the same here. So if you followed that kind of thinking, then you're just accumulating. And gee whiz, can you see this W down in here? So you could say, look at, I'm just going to frame my purchases off of this W down in here, and it could be there, wherever. And you're just accumulating on this pullback right in here. Reload zones within reload zones. Very, very sexy. And you might, you maybe miss this move and you're like, okay, well, what the fuck do I do, man? I couldn't get in on all this. Well, you see, you can go like that and then just reload on this event. Look at that beautiful little W right there. So textbook. Then you go, well, I missed this one, man. Okay, well then, there's the big spike and just do it again. And we'll go there. And now you got a reload zone within a reload zone within a reload zone. Look at that. Triple reload zone. So it's a really great way to sneak your way in on cheap assets. And if this thing really is a W, then you're just going to have a killer entry level. So, see if you can figure out how to do that. Get your take a screenshot of that and see if you can replicate that chart and print it out. Sold a double recently on that. Just consider where to reload. Yeah, Great Del Moody's talking like a gnarly old Beamish minion. Way to go, dude. The funny thing is, when I was on the CME, they literally had a book that went around the floor of the exchange. It was called Beamish Isms. And these guys literally couldn't understand what the fuck I was saying, and they would pass the book around trying to figure out what the hell I was saying. True story. It's actually a true story. That is probably one of the greatest accomplishments of my life when I heard that the CME boys are like, okay, what the fuck's that guy doing? Okay, what the hell did he say? Does anybody understand what he's saying? No. All right. Where's that damn user's manual? I know that Great Del Moody. He's written one. Let's get a copy of his.
You know, just because I do like persistence, I want people to at least know what it's about.
All right. What's it about?
It's a pretty neat protocol. So it is in the Cosmos ecosystem. It is traded on different sexes.
Yeah, you love that Cosmos,
CEXs. I know sex is a bad word when it's just CEX, but it does a couple interesting things. One is you can use real world assets, think like invoices and other things, to use as collateral to borrow crypto from. So it kind of bridges the DeFi and CeFi and open finance worlds. But then they also have a product that, this is another one I haven't kept up on as much in the last couple months, but that's called P-Stake. I know they did an alpha earlier this summer on it, but essentially it allows you to stake assets in DeFi. But then usually if you stake an asset or you provide liquidity, that's the end state of it. But one of the goals of persistence is to let you use that. You can stake or you can provide liquidity, and then you'll get a token that you can use further in DeFi to then further provide collateral or get enhanced yield on it. And so it's trying to kind of add utility to even staked or LP positions that you do in crypto, which is very interesting to me.
And that's where I kind of get lost, because I have some persistence. I know if you just stake it in a regular wallet, like for the first year, they're offering like 30%, I think is what it is. And so what you just said is kind of like the next level, like the next step in order to sort of.
So that stuff is like using the protocol,
right? Not
necessarily owning the token,
right?
But I think the token will do well in the very long term. I don't know if it will do incredibly well at the end of this cycle, but I do really like the protocol for the long term.
And there's, for those people that would like to join, Nick, another example of sort of trade location that seems to be jumping out is right in this area down in here. So, and actually this one, it's pretty fluid, eh? I mean, lots of up and down, back and forth. So, look for W's to start forming down in here. Little dangerous, though. I don't like what I see about, can you see how we're kind of asking whether we're accepting back into value? And if we are, that does mean we have to come all the way back down to value low here. So it'll be interesting to see.
So, I mean, this would have already triggered a Hogue trade, right? Because it stayed down there for long enough.
Yeah. It looks like it actually got back into value right on this failure right here. Right? This kind of this top into there. But anyway, actually interesting when we just look at the distribution of the volume just of this range, though. That's probably what you should do with volume profile. You can see how the fight now just on here is at value high. Interesting too, notice how Mountain Man right there is that node, right? So you might find it slams down into there and then jackknifes back up. So anyway, interesting fundamental story and a couple of location ideas for you to chew on if you're interested. Look at that, how that POC lines up nicely with the original double bottom here, right? I mean, there's where you really want to fight your fight, right in this sort of this window here. That's probably the risk window, right in there. Got lots of lows to defend you, right? So if you can sneak in off of that level, what is that? That's I don't know, 760, 770, somewhere in that area. That's probably a good level to be long. So about $1 lower than where we are right now. So consider that. Also too, notice, so can you kind of see, remember we've been talking a lot about sort of head and shoulders as is. This one's a bit sloppy, but it kind of looks like there's a neckline somewhere in there. So that would mean a nice sort of, there's a left shoulder, there's a right shoulder. But that would mean, now this is an hourly chart, so maybe this cleans up pretty quickly. But that would sort of imply, if we thought sort of market symmetry, then it would be sort of like boobity-boo to boobity-boo. And there is that image, and then we'll flip that around. Boom. No, I don't think I want to do that. There we go. So, that is what I would expect. Isn't that kind of cool? So, you can sort of see how we're kind of moving our way along the timeline here, right? And actually, it's interesting about this is you can even see there was a big spike here, right? And so you kind of look at this and you go, how on earth is that going to replicate that? And that's basically what this is here. That's so cool. So you can see they're even anticipating this. So it's kind of disconnected a little bit here. It's a little bit high. I wouldn't be surprised if we have to dump down into our reload zone here. And then, I've told you this before, if this plays out like this is absolutely textbook. Have you guys heard me say that quite often down the road, you'll find that the darn market bottoms right off that 78.6 level? So in a weird sort of way, if you saw that happen, can you see how this will basically W right off that damn level? You see that so often, it's ridiculous. So, anyway, kind of an interesting little forecast. Not that we're in the business of predicting the future, but there's Brian predicting the future.
Quick question, just because I want to make sure I didn't give Wade bad information. Did you used to trade with John Hoagland, or how did you know him?
He's my boss.
Oh, you worked for John Hoagland. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's an absolute sweetheart. If you ever have a boss, that's the guy you want to have as your boss, because the guy was absolutely adorable. His boss, and they were kind of business partners, Nebraska, he was a dick. But Hoag, he was a sweetheart. He was sort of, I think he calls himself like sort of head coach or head of prop traders or something like that. So everybody has to come in. You have your morning meeting with Hoag, and he's sort of, okay, watch out for the econs, we're rolls, watch out for the spread guy, watch out for this, watch out for that kind of shit. So I don't know. Does that answer your question?
No, it does. I had just said I thought you traded with him or something, but I couldn't remember the full story.
Hoag is, and the interesting thing, and this is often what ends up happening in this business, Hoag's dad was one of the grain traders, was one of the key grain traders from back in the 1960s. And so basically John just grew up on the exchange. And he spent his whole life trading CME. So can you imagine all those guys, like their whole existence just got completely decimated because Larry Fink, decided we're all going to go digital. And to hell with the damn floor brokers. So, duck notes. There's another one. That you're thinking. Wade says, is John Hoagland the guy who really likes the resolution of 38.2 for trend range confirmation? No, that's a gentleman by the name of Ray Burchett. Ray, you do not want to go to Ray for hugs and kisses. Ray's he ain't gonna give you any love at all. He's a cold and hard and dry. Typical stock market trader dude. Hoag is an absolute anomaly in the business. He is actually, and it's funny because we Canadians, we pride ourselves on being polite and nice and just good people so Hogan Eddie is another guy. He used to be an old floor barker. They were anomalies in Chicago because they were just the nicest guys in the world. And I love working with them.
Naive question: is a barker somebody who just yells out prices?
Sort of. A little bit of commentator, a little bit of like when you're day trading in the pits. Like even, I don't know whether you watch our battle stations room in the morning. I mean, when we had a bunch of econs and stuff that came out this morning. So it's sort of like heads up, and Eddie would be like, all right, got 5 minutes until University of Michigan sentiment number comes out. And then more importantly, it would be like, holy Jesus, look at that old Goldman guy. He's coming in. He's shooting 1,000 lot sell orders into the pit. And look at all the little koi just swallowing up all the sell orders, and sort of giving you like a sort of color commentary on what was actually happening in the pits. So
that's cool.
Yeah, barker. That's like from the term carnival barkers.
I don't know if I know that
We used
term.
to have those a lot, like 20, 30 years ago in the market. I don't have that at all anymore. It's weird. It's like the stock, the whole business of speculating in the market. It's just lost its personality. It is so it's so impersonal now. It just makes you feel like it's very cold. That's why, if anything, it was so great to listen to Danny the other day, because he's injecting a bit of personality back into this space, and I can understand why he's going to do well, and people love Frog Money and Frog Nation and all that, because he's like a beacon that people can rally around, and that's what they really need in this space is like a beacon. That's probably the best term to use. Is the market? I think the market really wanted to use a guy like Vitalik as a beacon, as sort of like a rally post, but Vitalik just doesn't have that personality. But Danny, yeah. I think Danny, I could easily see him just wrap his arms around that and become fucking like Mr. Meme crypto. I could easily see that guy go very, very far.
I could not agree more. Like he's very captivating when he talks. He's incredibly passionate.
Yeah.
And I think people appreciate that he's coming to things with a business type lens. He's not just trying to build a flashy project or something that will do stuff. He's trying to bring value to the people who hold the coins.
Yeah, gotta hand it to him. It's pretty impressive.
It's worked so far. And
my only piece of advice to you, sir, if you are listening or any of your people are listening, is I think you're gonna have to invest in security now. I was telling another gentleman tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if Danny has a bullseye now on his head. He's a dangerous guy to like people like Goldman Sachs, the U.S. Federal Reserve, the banking class, all that. Danny is a very dangerous person to them. So please, Danny, for my sake, get a fucking security guard or something that watches you 24/7. Because I'm telling you that, I could just see that mysteriously Danny's gonna unfortunately run into some sort of negative event and just break everybody's heart.
It's really sad, but I actually agree with you.
Yeah, sad reality of this world. Anyway,
do we want to finish with our predictions for next week?
Yeah, sure. That's a good idea. All right. I'm going to predict moon! And then it'll go down 5%. I don't know. Who should we start with? Ben, you feel like... where's the spreadsheet? It's on one of these sheets. It's in here somewhere. Not that one, not that one, not that one. This one over here, maybe? There we go. Yeah, up here. All right, so we'll start. We'll go from right to left. So Ben, you're first up. What do you think the hell's going to happen over this next week? You gotta take
I
yourself
go
off
a
mute.
little bit bullish.
You're a little bit. Oh, there you go. All right, so he's turned up. Nice. All right. I remember I was feeling bullish, and then for some reason I think I got bitch slapped or something. But okay, so Ben's on the bull side. Derek, where do you think where we're going next?
I'm gonna stay neutral. I think one more week neutral, and then depending on how this next week goes, then I might change my mind. But I'm still feeling one more week of neutrality.
All right, you will be Switzerland. You know what's freaky is I remember I was in Switzerland a few years ago, and they still have like the bunkers and the big fucking like nuclear blast doors and stuff in all of the buildings. It's incredible. Like people are still, I guess, people live in Switzerland. They're still expecting the Soviet tanks. Anyway, all right, Nick, what's the call?
I mean, a -1 worked last week. We went up.
Oh, that yeah. See, we just for your record, we figured out Nick's strategy here. Okay.
So you know what? For the hell of it, I'm gonna do a -1 again.
Oh, all
Just-
right. So he's guaranteeing the market's going up.
I'm hoping that's my goal. But I mean, whatever. Last week, the technicals, I found like 5 reasons for Bitcoin to go down to the mid-50s, and it wouldn't. So now, when there's not as many reasons, let's go there again.
Okay, so we've got a pretty diverse basket here. I'll just probably won't help, but I'll take a look at the chart and just see what the heck it says to me. See, the thing is I wonder where we are in this, and there ain't much room for down. I mean, maybe there's one more. I think probably what I was thinking was there's got to be some sort of down in here somewhere, and it's just not doing any down at all, eh? So, what do I think is going to happen here? I'm going to say that I kind of like the neutral kind of thinking that we would just have to do another week or two of this before we go face rippy. So here's the thing, right? Is we're at 62 right now. I could see us go as high as 66 and as low as 58. So I'm going to say neutral, but it could be anywhere in this range here next week. So, but I'll go with neutral will be my vote. I don't think we're face rippy. And I don't feel like we're going to go down just yet. So, anyway, we'll see what happens. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. And really that's all this is we're just having fun, just talking our opinion. So, there we go. 10 after 8, so I guess we did a good couple hours. Did you guys have fun this evening?
Always.
Yeah?
Sure.
Yep, good time.
Oh, awesome. Excellent. Well, I hope you people over in YouTube, I still have my Ubix stack. I mean, what do you expect me to do with it? I mean, I'm not going to dump it. There's no point. If anything, I want to take it and send it over to DeFi. But there's no point in selling. I mean, it's a little old lady portfolio, and little old ladies don't sell. So, anyway, somebody on YouTube was asking about Ubic. Yeah, pretty disappointing. I'll tell you that much. Anyway. All right, so thank you so much for my panel members. Great job as always, Derek, Nick, Ben. Very proud to work with you guys. I think you're very intelligent and lively conversation. It's been actually a pleasure getting to know all three of you. So thank you for that. I really hope you in YouTube feel as though you're getting some value out of this. If you do and you'd like to contribute to TRI's goal to get a booth up and running in Decentraland, we do have a little ETH address that you can contribute to. And just down here. And thank you very much to those people that have contributed. Really appreciate it. It's awfully nice of you. I think we'll probably leave it at that. Great job, again, as I said there earlier, to my co-host, show host. I don't know, any closing thoughts? Any of the three of you'd like to add before we head out into the sunset?
I can't say anything as a closing thought. I need minutes and minutes to talk, so not me.
Okay. Ben, if there was one message from the great state of Florida everybody should keep in mind for this coming week, what do you think that would be?
Oh, I mean, just do unto others as you would have do unto yourself.
Oh, nice.
And,
golden rule.
There you go.
Funny
the
thing
golden
is,
rule, and
oh, sorry?
that's it. Yeah, the golden rule.
Yeah, the only problem with that is my old man, he would remind me the golden rule actually is the guy who has the gold makes the rules.
Yeah.
And of course, my old man, he was a capitalist jerk. So. But I like your version of the golden rule better. All right. And lastly, from the great state of Maryland, the dad. How are the boys doing there? Are they giving you headaches these days? Mom's back in town, right?
Yeah, everybody's doing good.
All
I would
right.
say have a great week and don't take no wooden nickels.
Oh, nice. Nice. All right. Don't take no damn wooden nickels. All right. All right, everybody. Have yourselves a great night. I suppose I'll take us on out of here since I haven't done it in a while. Like I said, if you are interested in the NFT space and want to get to know Luna a little bit better, I think Julian's going to have a big show for us tomorrow, so be sure to watch the Daily Brief for that. And then on Friday, actually, I plan to do a little bit of screener surfing, and let's see what kind of ideas we can dig up with the screener heading into the weekend. And maybe we'll have some fun trading away through the weekend here. All right. Have yourselves a great evening. All the best. Thank you so much for your assistance, boys. The only thing left for Brad to say here is bye.